So it is like a gray and overcast day, which means that today is perfect for taking some flat lay photos of my books for social media. I haven't done this since like back before Christmas, so I really need to get some additional photos. I post them a lot on Instagram. They're also good for like newsletters, ads, blog posts, anything you might need a pretty picture of your books for. I'm gonna gather up some of my books, and then I'm gonna gather up some little accessories, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so here's some books I'm gonna be photographing today. And while I was upstairs, I grabbed some crowns, because those always look really nice. Got just a couple from my collection. I keep these on my bookshelves with my books. And oh my gosh, these are really heavy, but I just wiped down the windowsill so I don't mess them down yet. Just put them on my lap. So today I think I am going to use less color. I think I'm going to try to keep it focused in like some beige, maybe like some wood tones, gold. We'll see how far that gets me. Maybe throw in some pink. Just overall warmer colors. I'm ready for spring, so I'm ready for warm. I haven't really done that in the past. Most of my stuff is kind of dark and moody, but this should be like a nice fresh change of pace and hopefully it'll work out nicely. So as far as books here, I've got the 6 books for the Snake's Blood Saga, the 5 books out so far for Spectrum Legacy. I have one of my novellas that is actually available in print. I've got West King's Heist, I've got the Artisan Magic trilogy. Oh no, I forgot The Witch in the Worm. I left that one upstairs. I'm gonna have to go back upstairs. Okay, I'm gonna go upstairs. When I get back, the window still should be dry. Okay, I went and got that. My battery on my camera is running low, so I'm going to have to plug it in soon. But I grabbed a couple other things while I was downstairs. I've got this lighted garland that I think will look really nice. I have a cutting board that is like specifically a photo prop. This was just like a really cheap one that I got from IKEA with my IKEA birthday coupon. And then I have some loose pages from Serpent's Mark. These were left from the crafts that I did back at Christmas. And I think that'll make a really nice photo backdrop if I spread out just like the loose pages. So the most important thing when taking photos is to have like a really soft diffuse light, and that's what makes a cloudy day like this perfect, because this windowsill is really brightly illuminated, but there's not going to be any harsh shadows. So you can get the same thing by taking photos on a really bright and sunny day, as long as you're in like a bright room but away from the windows. And then there are other things that you can do, like using bounced lighting, or if you have like umbrella lights, soft boxes. If you take your photography really seriously, then you would, get those and set those up. I have those that I use for recording my doll projects for YouTube just to make it visible, but I don't feel like dragging those around all the time. So this makes this perfect opportunity to do this. Now it's time to start laying things out. I also have a little box with some props, like I've got some little bouquets that I have, just decorations from around the house. And then just like some like keys and bookmarks and a bag of 𝗃𝗶𝗃, because that makes a really nice texture if you like kind of sprinkle it around. And it's warm colors, so it matches kind of the theme that I'm going for. One thing I'm trying to keep in mind going into this is Instagram's new photo orientation that they prefer. They like the taller, like 4:5 ratio. So I'm going to need to take my photos from the side over here in order to get something that's tall enough to fit what they want. Ideally, once I do this, I will get enough photos to last me through the summer. I don't post tons of photos like these, but I do have a lot of books out now. So if I post even like one thing per series, then that's gonna give me, like 6 different posts in 1 month that are going to be this aesthetic. So if I can take 3 or 4 images of each book with a slightly different layout, then that's going to give me several months worth of material to post. So I probably won't need to do this again until the end of the summer. This is just gonna fight me terribly, trying to get this to lay down. It just does not want to cooperate. which isn't bad because, you know, it makes it more visually interesting, I guess, but I don't want it to be all leaves. There's a candle, that's another favorite, but that's green, so it doesn't really go with the aesthetic that I'm aiming for right now. I'll see if I have a big white one that I can use. There's bookmarks, gold and silver. I'll put the silver one aside for now. I'm gonna focus on using the gold things. I think I've also got some brass keys in here. And I try to get kind of like opposing angles for things. So, you know, it's like the book is going this way, so the bookmark is gonna go this way. So you can do a lot of things visually with that. Like this, you know, I can, if I arrange this with all the little keys like pointing toward the book, then that's going to increase the visual interest. Here's some of the potpourri. And I'm just kind of going to take a couple pieces of that and sprinkle it around just to increase visual interest, increase the texture. And this is mostly going to be kind of like top down, maybe at a little bit of an angle. You have a candle here that's like a big double wick candle. See what raises up like a crown. Now I just need to grab my other camera and I can take some pictures. This camera was my filming camera for years and years, and now it is my workhorse photography camera. I can Photoshop out hot pixels better in like still images than, you know, video. So we're gonna have something like this. Yeah, I think that's working really well. So I am just going to kind of keep this the way that it is. I'm going to switch out the book one at a time and take pictures of like each of my books in this arrangement, probably in the same orientation, just because if I am mixing this up with like 3 or 4 other arrangements, it won't be super repetitive. This one is really interesting because this is a book that I have never really highlighted, and it is a novella. It's like a whole fantasy adventure novella, and it was a lot of fun to write, but I don't really advertise this a lot. It's something that people can get free when they subscribe to my newsletter, but I want to highlight that this month, so. Bad day for batteries. Okay, so that was photos round 1. Now I am going to take this apart and mix it up a little bit with some different decorations. Don't know what I'm using yet, but man, I'll tell you what, between like the potpourri and that scented candle being open, it smells so good in here right now. Okay, this one, I'm not sure if this one's gonna work out the way I'm envisioning just yet, but I'm thinking maybe just like the garland kind of spread behind everything and then turning on the lights like that. And we'll see how that looks. I need another page here. Let's see if I can steal one from the back. Kind of fill in that spot. That should work. And honestly, that's it. I don't really do much editing to these. They come off the camera pretty clean already. So all I really do is I'll take them into Photoshop and I'll just hit like auto contrast to kind of brighten up the contrast a little bit. That's it. That's all the editing. I might put like an Instagram filter on it or something when I post it, but there's not a lot of post-processing work that goes into it. Whenever I upload something to Instagram, I can crop it in the app, so I don't even worry about that. It's just getting the photos that's really time consuming. Here's a quick little look at some of the photos that I took today. These are going to be going up on my Instagram and Facebook page across the next couple of months. And while you do need kind of an artistic eye to be able to do something like this, that is something that you can develop with practice. Just putting things together, adding in more visual interest, different heights of objects, and trying to make sure that your focus is really sharp on the book. And everything else comes with time. My early attempts were not so great, and then even still I'll have some times where I sit down to take photos and it's just not very inspired and they turn out a little bit lackluster. But generally speaking, over time as you do something like this, you will see a gradual improvement. So don't be discouraged if your first couple attempts don't turn out super great. So that's it for this time. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed seeing this. It smells so tasty in here between it's like the berry cobbler potpourri and this coconut scented candle. I'm so hungry now, so I'm going to go get lunch. Take care, and I'll see you next time.